Second VOD in a row with Vampire in it. But I promise, this time I will not be flaming him. Instead, I will flame his ADC. I will flame Gala. Gala will fuck up his wave, will position himself like he doesn't want to play the game, and overall he will just play quite badly. I've skipped intentionally over level 1 when it comes to warding and sweeping and all that bullshit, simply because I would have to spend way too much time on it, and I don't want to go over all the different iterations of level 1s and how you're supposed to play them. There's too much theory, I don't care. Instead, let's talk about this interaction here, because even though it seems like nothing has happened, there were already two big mistakes from Gala. First of all, when you play into champions like Jhin, Sivir, Misfortune, you cannot pull this wave towards the bushes and then play through them. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. When you pull this wave towards the bushes, what it means that the wave meets closer to the bushes, and therefore, when the Jhin casts his Q on the melee minions here, the Q has an infinitely higher chance of landing. So this minion pull is really bad. Then, second problem. Because he's spam auto-attacking this melee minion, that he doesn't have to hit at all, by the way, because they can never possibly lose level 2 advantage, but because he's spam auto-attacking it, he is in no position, he should be here somewhere, maybe even in this bush, to be fair, he is in no position to hit Alistar on the phase check of this bush. Normally what happens is red side holds onto this bush, Alistar is forced to play on the other side of the map, and they are trading their HP for the wave to aggro onto Nami. Because what happens is Alistar plays this side, Jhin plays this side, Corki probably plays somewhere here, Nami plays here, and they should step up together and trade. They take aggro, it leads to the wave pushing faster towards blue side, and blue side trades their HP for it. That's how the game is normally played. But that's not what we are gonna see, because red side will not be able to maintain control over this bush, which is mainly caused by Gala mispositioning. So here, Gala missed probably a single auto attack, maybe two, not a big deal, as long as it doesn't continue, because over time, it scales up to a significant amount of damage. So we have this interaction, then we're gonna see the best play of this VOD, I kid you not, and even here we have a mistake, but them together contesting this bush, it's how you play this matchup. Very correct contest, they even puffed around like that, so that Jhin has a harder time reaching them as they phase check. Really good stuff. And you can also see the problem of this wave being pulled, where this Q now, this Q bounce from Jhin actually lands pretty easily onto Corki. All because he pulled the wave. So they contest this bush together, they actually trade onto him. The mistake that they've made was Nami auto-attacking the minion. Again, maybe they still believe that they're gonna lose level 2 advantage. I don't know exactly why otherwise Nami would be hitting this minion, because it's not a last hit timer. So she's just trolling a little bit. But it is what it is. Let's continue. We see now the same mistake happen again. Maybe you didn't see it, but I saw it. Corki needs to be in position to contest this bush. And yes, you can make an argument that, oh, Nami shouldn't be contesting this because Corki has his Q on cooldown and this guy has his last auto attack on Jhin. Sure, you can consider this argument, but not at a pro level. When you're playing at a pro level and your support says, I contest, you contest too. You are here to help. It cannot be the case that your ADC is refusing to click forward, because here he had an option. He knows this, he can click forward. But then he clicks sideways, and then last hits a minion, again on a timer on which he doesn't have to last hit it. But okay, let's move on. After that short exchange, we have second sweeper being used by Nami. She's trading a little bit of her HP to clear the ward and to get some minions. After that, JDG is a little bit lost on the map. They don't know what they're supposed to do, even though the most obvious thing to do is to contest this bush again, especially as Jin's Q went on cooldown. They don't do it, not entirely sure why. It seems like they want to go for it, but they hedge it in a weird way. Like, if you actually want to commit to this contest, which is probably the best way of playing this laning phase, but if you want to commit to the contest, then again, Nami puffs around like this, and then Corki remains in this bush. That's not what they did. Instead, they, I think, looked for an exchange onto Jhin, which is not a consistent way of gaining an advantage. And here, as you can see, they hit level 2 advantage before blue side. Blue side is not even contesting it, because that's not how you play for an advantage as blue side bot lane. The way you play for an advantage is out-sustaining in terms of mana pool and HP, because Alistar passive. And the second way is looking to hold the wave near turret and Q flash on Alistar is one way you can win the lane. Whereas the red side wants the opposite. Red side actually wants to hold the wave in this position, which will become important as we go further into this VOD. And then play through the bushes again and look to harass an bot lane. Also, I think we might have missed it, but Corki is refusing to stand anywhere close Nami. At this point, he's about 800 units away from her, which doesn't make any sense. He's only able to land this Q. He has missed probably about 5 auto attacks onto Alistar at this point. Here, Ruler traded a little bit of his HP for experience on this melee minion right here. With Alistar, we have a punish from Vampire, really good. And we go back to playing very, very far away from Nami for absolutely no reason. This is again close to 800 units, but it doesn't make any sense. Nami wants to click forward and trade onto Alistar, maybe look for Jhin if Alistar is clicking too far back. Like let's say Alistar is here, then maybe Nami can look to step up and look for Jhin. But she cannot do it consistently if Corki is on this side of the lane. Why can he not do it consistently? Because Alistar can simply W Nami and get away with it. Don't get me wrong, there are situations where you play on this side of the lane. You do it in instances where you look for an all-in, for instance. You will often stay here, but this also happens when the wave is closer to middle of the lane. So like, let's say the wave is here. Then as the ADC you can play on this side of the lane and then your support can be here. And you can close distance like that together. You can do it. You play here if you're a champion like Israel and you only want to look for Q-poke. In those cases, yes, sure, you can stand this far away. Otherwise, click to your teammate. Again, Alistar gets away with not getting hit at all by Corki. And after that short exchange, red side is going to be crashing this third wave. And this third wave crash is bad. The third wave being crashed is not bad itself, but the way they've crashed it is bad. Because this wave is insanely huge, so as long as blue side doesn't clear it too quickly, then red side will struggle in pulling this fourth wave from under turret. When you don't pull this fourth wave all the way here, which is ideal position for red side because it allows Nami to play through the bush and therefore trade onto enemy bot lane and look to win the laning phase. When you don't get to pull the wave as far, then the second thing that is gonna happen is the wave will be somewhere here. When the wave is somewhere here and Nami looks to step up, Alistar can look to Q-flash. When he lands his Q-flash, you're basically dead or very, very close to it and you can lose the lane. But even if it's not Alistar on the other side, but Nautilus, let's say, it's still bad to not pull this wave all the way here. Because you want to have access to this bush and actual utility coming out of it. When the wave is close to the turret, there is no utility. It's useless. Which is what we are gonna see here. They pull the wave very late because they can't really pull the wave when the crash is so big. And now the wave is in a shit position. So Nami has a very, very hard time looking for exchanges, even if she wanted to. And nothing happens for the next 2 minutes or so. Not necessarily because red side is trolling or making any mistakes at this point, but because they fucked up this one wave. And yeah, that's basically it. One more thing I guess that I could mention here is that there is a third way of playing it. It doesn't work here, but there's a laning phase where you can do it. So the other way of playing this would be to hold this fourth wave very, very close to the turret so that your wave crashes onto it and the bounce back is very heavy. When there's a heavy bounce back on this wave and you can freeze it here and play around this freeze, either because your mid lane can move, your jungler can move, or maybe you're just much, much stronger in a 2v2, then it can be good. The reason why it doesn't work in this case is because the red side, first of all, is not strong enough to all-in a 2v2. And second reason is that blue side actually has a very, very good reset timer, assuming that they get to clear this fourth wave. Because Jhin will get to buy either Call or tier 1 boots with refillables, and both of them are really good. So we cannot really do it in this matchup, but it's a real theory of playing on this third wave crash. And there's obviously resetting. But resetting doesn't work in this matchup. Or like you shouldn't do it. Because there is a better way of gaining advantage. And yeah, there is nothing really else to discuss here. They're just gonna be AFK because they can't really do anything else in this laning phase. So that'll be it. To conclude, don't play like Gala. Be a little bit better of a teammate to your support. And make sure that you do not pull the waves towards the bushes when you play into champions like Jhin Sivir. And then finally, make sure that when you crash the third wave, you actually know what happens on the fourth wave. Because there's multiple ways of playing on the fourth wave. You need to know what the fuck you're doing. In this game, JDG's bot lane clearly had no idea how to play the laning phase post the third wave. And that's it. Hope you've enjoyed, and bye bye. Bye bye.